And our third witness will be Brad L. Champlin, who is Executive Vice President of Union Planters Corporation. Prior to beginning his 25-year banking career, Mr. Champlin was in the food business, working with cutting-edge marketing giants like Ross and Purina, Beatrice Foods. Mr. Champlin grew up in California, graduating from the University of Southern California with a BS in Management and Finance and an MBA in Marketing. He also studied at Cambridge University in England. Mr. Champlin served in the Army Reserves during the Vietnam War and later transferred as a lieutenant into the Naval Reserve Unit that, among other things, debriefed officers returning from Vietnam on their way to Washington. I note that Mr. Champlin's number 2 son, Scott, is a veteran. He served for 4 years as a Ranger in the U.S. Army and holds a Purple Heart for his service in Panama, where he was a member of the crew that physically removed Manuel Noriega from the country. In addition to his bank, Mr. Champlin is representing Jackson W. Moore, Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer of Union Planters Corporation and its lead bank subsidiary, Union Planters Bank.
Thank you. Chairman Smith, members of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, and guests, good afternoon. My bank, my chairman, and I are honored to come before you this morning to share our practice in employing veterans of our armed forces. My name is Brad Champlin. I'm Executive Vice President of Union Planters Corporation, whose principal banking subsidiary is Union Planters Bank, and I'm here representing the bank, my chairman, and myself. The chairman of my bank is Jackson Moore. He's the President and Chief Executive Officer of Union Planters Corporation. Mr. Moore sends his greeting to Chairman Smith and the House Committee on Veterans Affairs. Mr. Moore is an attorney by trade. He's active in numerous religious, civic, and educational organizations. Mr. Moore served on active duty in the United States military, holding the rank of captain in the United States Army and the Army Reserves. Union Planters Corporation is a New York Stock Exchange-listed bank holding company doing business in every state in the United States, but with principal offices in 12 states in the United States. Today, we employ over 10,000 people with 745 banking offices. We have announced a definitive merger agreement with Regions Bank that will create the 12th largest bank holding company nationwide in terms of deposits. Mr. Moore will become Chief Executive Officer of the combined companies in June 2005 upon the retirement of Carly Jones, Jr., the current President and CEO of Regions. Upon completion of the transaction expected in June of this year, the new bank will employ approximately 20,000 people with 1,400 banking offices, 1,700 ATMs, and the 140 brokerage offices of Morgan Keegan Company. And I preface that to simply say, this is a big bank. Mr. Moore serves on the President's National Hire Veterans Committee that was established by the Secretary of Labor and authorized by the President's Jobs for Veterans Act. Terry O'Mahony from Texas chairs that committee, and I believe he was in the audience earlier. Mr. Moore is in sympathy with the committee's direction in attempting to create a pull for veterans to be employed in quality jobs throughout America's workforce instead of simply a push of the veteran into the workforce. We believe that there is a disconnect, however, between corporations who are positively disposed to hire veterans and the skilled veteran labor pool. Our Executive Vice President for Human Resources is illustrative of that disconnect. Asked if Union Planters Bank hires veterans, our Human Resources Director said, "Yes, we hire veterans. They're a wonderful addition to our workforce." But when we asked the follow-up question, does the bank have any special programs targeted to recruit and hire veterans? That resulted in a negative response. The head of our Human Resources does not know of any groups contacting our bank encouraging us to be proactive in hiring veterans, and furthermore, at this point would not know where to go if we wanted to target a hire veterans program at our bank. Our state workforce development agencies are more passive than they are proactive. The good news is that there is a positive connotation to the hiring of veterans. There is a belief that the veteran comes to the workforce with good training and skills in working with and managing people, that the veteran will show up to work on time, have a good attitude, and dress appropriate to the occasion. Mr. Moore believes that there's another value in hiring a veteran. With all the attention on national security, it is equally vital that corporations focus on safety and security in the workplace. The veteran comes to the workplace with skills that set them apart from ordinary employees when dealing in unexpected crisis situations. We applaud Veterans Across America's initiative to reach out to corporate America with a campaign that encourages the hiring of veterans, and we believe that the branding campaign will help accomplish that objective. We would submit that to be effective, the campaign should target, in addition to CEOs, directors, and it should target directors of human resources and societies for human resources management. In short, those in America's workplace that do the hiring. We need to find ways to point these people to the resources that are available to get them connected to veteran talent. Our nation has a great resource in our veterans, and frankly has expended billions of dollars to develop that talent. We do a great favor not only to our veterans, but to our corporations, our nations, and ourselves by finding ways to better utilize the veteran talent pool that exists. Jack Moore and I thank you for the time you've taken this morning to seek ways to help improve our quality of life for our veterans, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the wonderful work you're doing for our country as elected representatives of this great nation.
Champlin, thank you very much for your testimony and for the good work you're doing as well.